All right, I believe it was Tav that asked me how to address putting in a bead on a firewall he was working on, and he didn't have a bead roller, so I'm going to walk you through the process, and I hope this helps. So basically I just took a piece of hardwood, this scrap piece of red oak that I had from my bed, and I took my router and set a straight edge up like that, and then I routed basically just this little pattern that's going to be a small bead. This is for demonstration purposes. I'd spend time in sand and clean that up if this was going to be a final product, but I just wanted to show him how you go about doing it when you don't have tools. Now, he did tell me he had a router, so that's why I went ahead and used the router and the piece of wood. So the first thing, I just want to get my base secure, so I'm clamping it down. If you don't have a clamp, you can screw it to your workbench or whatever, but let me put the clamp over here so it's out of the way. The next thing I'm going to do is search for my Sharpie marker. Let me grab a Sharpie marker. Here we go. And I'm going to transfer the lines so I know where I routed. And then on my piece of metal that I'm working on, I want to know there where I'm routing as well, or where I'm going to be pounding. So we'll say for this purpose that's where I want my bead. So I'll line those lines up. Now what I've done is I've cut just a little piece of steel rod, and that's going to lay right in there. And that's what's going to push. I'll go ahead and mark where the end of this is because I can't see it. Wait, I have a reference line where the end of my pattern is. So basically, this is just telling me where the end of the beads are when I lay my metal up there, and this is the thickness of it. Then I'm going to clamp my metal down. I'll clamp my board down. Now let me get this adjusted so you can see. Light turned on there. So now I got my metal clamped in place. I know that the end, let me slide this down just so, show you how we finish off the end bubble. Okay, we got that like that. And I put my piece of metal there. Now, that vice grip and hold that template, that piece of round bar, in place here. And you can get creative with the clamps. Like I can clamp the vice grip down, or I can hold it, but I'll just hold it. And then this is, you were asking about hammers. This is just a big old hammer my dad gave me. But I'm going to keep this in between the lines. Now you're going to get this end furrowing up. We'll deal with that in a minute. So you can see I'm starting to get that edge in. Need to come from this side to finish it off. So as you can see, that just took a minute. This is all in real time. Now, I'm just going to flatten this out, but I want to show you that's what the bead ended up looking like. So, not in a roller, it's using a hunk of wood. This is 18 gauge steel. So this isn't flimsy 20, 22. This is 18 gauge, just exactly what you'd use on a firewall. But with just a little bit of hammering, it didn't take much, as you see. Now, I can put this in the vise and, you know, straighten that out. Maybe I can do it with my hands. Actually, I just did it with my hands, make it straight. But that's the way you do it. So let me recap for you again. So I want to make sure you see it. You can see that fits right in my pattern. So I basically, and this is not sanded out. This is not, I didn't spend a lot of time. It's basically just 2 router passes. Took the router with just a 1/4 inch rollover. It took me 2 passes. I set up a fence so I get the right depth and I can make my line straight. I did 2 router passes. That is only maybe an 1/8 inch deep. If you put a straight edge across here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's probably only maybe a little over an 1/8 of an inch. Maybe 3/16 deep. You can take a wood chisel and clean it out if you want. But remember, 18 gauge steel isn't going to show all the little bumps and stuff in there. Then I drew the lines to show where my pattern was, where I'm going to put the bead. I put some side lines so I know where my bead started and stopped. Then I clamped my metal where I wanted the bead to start and stop. I cut me a piece of, this is 5/16 round bar. You can pick this up at Lowe's or Home Depot, and I cut the length that matches the pattern. Laid my piece in there, clamped it, laid that bar on top, hammered straight down on that bar till I got the bead, and that's a way you can stiffen up your panels, your floorboards, anything like that, without spending the money on a bead roller. Takes a little bit more prep time, but you can even, say you wanted this to curve, you can get a long piece of this, heat it up, make your curve, make your pattern, make your negative in your wood, and you can do a complete curve pattern if you want. But anyway, he was struggling with this. I told him last night I'd make a video, so got out in my shop pretty early this morning and took about 5 minutes to set this up. So I hope this helps you, buddy. Good luck. And make sure you post your progress.